Welcome guys to video on facts about HCF and LCM part 5. This is a continuation of a series of videos on HCF and LCM where I have spoke about multiples, divisors, dividends and how to find HCF, LCM, the numericals, when to use HCF and LCM. In this video, I am going to talk about facts which will help you to find the HCF and LCM easily. So let's get started. First, HCF of given numbers is always a factor of LCM. Let's have an example, understand this with an example. Now here 12 and 15. So the statement says HCF of given numbers is always a factor of LCM. Let's see whether it is true or not. Let's first find HCF of these given numbers 12 and 15. 3 times 4 and 3 times 5. Now HCF means highest common factor. So 3 is the highest common factor which is common to both these numbers. Further 4 and 5, this will not have the same factors. It would have separate factors, different factors. Let's further continue. So this will go in 2 times 2 is 4 and we'll get down 5 as it is. Then 2 times 1 and get down 5 as it is, and then 5 times 1. So here HCF highest common factor is 3, whereas LCM is all these numbers will be the LCM, right? So let's write it down here. Fine. So HCF is 3 and LCM is 3 into 2 into 2. 3 2s are 6, 6 2s are 12 and 2 times 3 2s are 6, 6 2s are 12, 12 times 5 is 60. So we got 60. Now what does the statement say? Statement says HCF of given numbers, that is 3, is always a factor of LCM. So let's find the factors of 60. Factors of 60 are what? In which all numbers 60 or by which all numbers 60 will be divided. 1 will be common factor, 2 times, 3 times, then it will go in 4, 5, 6, 10, 15 times 4, 20 times 3, 30 times 2 and 60 times 1. So these all are the factors of 60, which means what? I have discussed this right in my first video. Please do refer my first video on factors and multiples. Okay, how to find factors and how to find multiples and what is the difference between them and how these are useful to find HCF and LCM, right? So factors means in which all numbers or which all numbers will divide this 60. So here we can see 3, which is HCF, is one of the factor of 60 and 60 is the LCM of the given number. So we have verified it. So please understand the statement. HCF of given numbers is always the factor of LCM. Correct? You understood? I hope it's clear. So here we have verified it. HCF is 3 and LCM is 60. And this 60 has 3 as one of the factor, which is the HCF of the given numbers. So HCF of given numbers is always the factor of LCM. Let's see second case. If given two numbers are co-prime, then their HCF is 1 and LCM will be their product, right? So if we understand the given numbers are co-prime, we don't go in use our time or waste our time rather in finding HCF and LCM by traditional way. Directly we can say HCF is 1 and LCM is the product, but we should be confident that the two numbers are co-prime. And what do you mean by co-prime numbers? Co-prime numbers are pair of numbers that do not have any common factor other than 1, right? So let's see now example 9 and 11. These are co-prime numbers where the common factor will only be 1. So let's see. So 9 and 11, 3 times 3 and 11 down as it is, then 3 times 1 and then 11 down as it is and 11 times 1, right? So here HCF is what? 1 will be HCF and LCM will be 3 times 3 is 9, 9 times 11 is 99. So HCF of these co-prime numbers is 1 and LCM is their product, that is 9 times 11 is 99, right? So this is what it means. So when we have co-prime numbers, and co-prime numbers means numbers which do not have any common factor except 1. So one such example we took as 9 and 11. You can think of 17 and 11, any numbers which are co-prime, which do not have anything in common, correct? So in such case, the HCF will always be 1 and LCM will be their product, correct? Now let's see another fact. Fact number 3. If two numbers are factor and multiple of each other, then the smaller number is HCF and bigger number is LCM. So if two numbers are factor and multiple of each other, then the smaller number is HCF and the bigger number is LCM. So consider example 4 and 60. Let's see this. Now factors of 60 are, as I said, factors means we need to find numbers which will divide this 60. So factors means we should be able to find the divisor, okay, the denominator of a fraction, right? So we should be able to find, factor means we are supposed to find the divisor. So which all numbers will divide this 60? So first obviously we start with 1 and 60 will always be there, 1 and the number itself will always be there. So in this case 1 and 60, and in between we have 2 will divide 60 completely, 3 will divide, 4 will divide, 5 will divide 60, 6 will divide 10, 15, 20, 30, 60. So these all are factors of 60. That means these all numbers will divide 60 completely. Once again, please do watch my video 1 of this series. It will make the concept of factors and multiples clear. Now here we have one of the factor as 4. So 4 times 15 is 60. So now if we find 4 and 60, if we find the factors of these numbers, so 2 times 2 is 4, 2 times 30 is 60, and 2 times 1 is 2, 2 times 15 is 30, and then we'll say 3 times 5 is 15, and then 5 times 1. So now the factors for 4 and 60 are all these factors, okay? But HCF, when we say HCF means highest common factor, which will divide both these numbers simultaneously, that is 2 into 2, 4, and LCM will be all these numbers. So 2 times 2 is 4, 4 times 3 is 12, 12 times 5 is 60. So here again now we saw, hence if two numbers are factor and multiple of each other, then the smaller number is HCF and the bigger number is LCM. So we got the smaller. Now here 4 and 60 are factors and multiples. Now here 60, 4 times 15 is 60, and one of the factor is 4, or 15 also we can say, right? So they are factor and multiple of each other. Hence always the smaller number will be the HCF and the bigger number will be LCM. This is possible only when they are factor and multiple of each other. So in that case you did not do this process of finding the factors. This process is not required. Only thing is you should be sure that the number is factor and multiple of each other. Then you can say the smaller one will be HCF and the bigger one will be LCM, right? Now let's see another fact. The product of HCF and LCM is equal to product of the two numbers. Let's see this. So consider example 12 and 15. Now the product of these two numbers will be equal to product of HCF and LCM. So let's first find the HCF and LCM. So find the factors. So let's start with 3. 3 times 4 is 12. 3 times 5 is 15. Then let's say 2. 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times 5 will take as it is. And then 2 times 1. 5 take down as it is. And then 5 times 1. Now these all are factors. But the highest common factor is 3, because 3 will divide these two numbers simultaneously. Whereas all these product of all these numbers will give us LCM. Let's write it down. So HCF is 3 and LCM is 3 2s are 6, 6 2s are 12, 12 times 5 is 60. Correct. Now the product of HCF and LCM, that is 3 into 60. is equal to product of the numbers, that is 12 into 15. So let's verify. So HCF into LCM is equal to product of the two numbers. HCF is 3 into 60 and 12 into 15 is 180. 3 times 60 is 180. So this is what we have verified. So if we want to find HCF and LCM, that will be always equal to the product of two numbers. Let's see another fact. HCF of any two consecutive even numbers is 2 and HCF of any two consecutive odd numbers is 1. Okay, so here you have to be careful. Even numbers, consecutive even numbers, HCF is 2 and consecutive odd numbers, HCF is 1. So let's see. Consider two consecutive even numbers, say 8 and 10. These are consecutive even numbers. Okay, so in this case, let's find the HCF of 8 and 10 and it should come out to be 2, right? So 2 times 4 is 8, 2 times 5 is 10, and then here now this won't be divided simultaneously, so highest common factor is 2. Now whenever you see that there are two consecutive even numbers, then you can directly take the HCF as 2. You need not waste your time doing this process, right? And consecutive two odd numbers, the HCF will be 1. Let's verify. Say for 15 and 17, these are consecutive odd numbers, so the HCF should be 1. Correct? Right. Now let's see one question. Which two consecutive even numbers have LCM 180? Okay, they have said consecutive even numbers. We have even numbers and the LCM is 180. Now we know if there are even numbers, then the HCF is 2, right? And we know the product of two numbers is equal to product of HCF and LCM, correct? So we can say consider two consecutive even numbers A and say other is B. Okay, so product of this also, as they are consecutive even numbers, so their HCF is 2. We have seen this is one of the fact. Now A into B is equal to 180 into 2. 180 because we know it is the LCM given. So 180 into 2 is 360. So A into B is 360. Now we need to find in which table 36 is there. We know 18 times 2 is 36. So we can say 18 into 20 is 360. Correct. So the two numbers are 18 and 20. So let's have a quick recap of all the facts of HCF and LCM. HCF of given numbers is always a factor of LCM. If given two numbers are co-prime, then their HCF is 1 and LCM is their product. And what do you mean by co-prime? Co-prime are the numbers where they have only 1 as a common factor. If two numbers are factor and multiple of each other, then the smaller number is HCF and bigger number is LCM. The product of HCF and LCM is equal to product of the two numbers. And last one, the HCF of any two consecutive, this you should remember, two consecutive even numbers is 2 and HCF of two consecutive odd numbers is 1. Okay. So this ends the series of HCF and LCM. Please do watch my earlier videos. I have made very clear what is the difference between factors and multiples, how to find HCF, how to find LCM. I have also considered different examples, numericals for HCF and LCM. And now this is the last video in which I have discussed various facts which will help you to solve the numericals further. These are the shortcuts so that you can utilize it while solving your numericals. So that's all in this video. Do like, share and subscribe the channel for more such videos. Thank you.